Say what you want to say, but I believe everything Shekinah has said. I think she is speaking truth, but with no power. Y'all already know what time it is. I got the black V-neck on. We have got to talk about Shekinah and Tiny. This drama has went nuclear, okay? This drama has went on for a little minute and it was just like bubbling up, and now it has resulted in Tiny and Shekinah no longer being friends, which is kind of sad because we remember watching Shekinah and Tiny, you know, on the show just laughing. And I'm gonna be completely honest, if the things are true about Shekinah talking about that they didn't want her on the show and T.I. felt some type of way about her or whatever, a lot of people watch the show because of Shekinah. Shekinah is hilarious. Now, don't get me wrong, Shekinah, you've done some questionable things that made me kind of side-eye you and be like, girl, I don't mess with you like that. But I have to admit you're kind of a storyteller, you're funny, you're whatever. I just want you to keep, you know, the gaze out your mouth. That's all I want you to do. But, you know, Shekinah was hilarious on the show. She was the thing. Nobody's watching the show because of Tiny. Tiny, there's nothing interesting about you. You know that. You know there's nothing interesting about you. You're like boring. Like, honestly, Escape could be able to do a whole tour without you. Like, girl, you don't have no personality. Doesn't mean that you don't have no talent. You just don't have no personality. Your only personality is being in a relationship, marriage, or what have you, whatever it is this week with T.I. Like, that's your personality. So to kind of refresh some of y'all memories for those who haven't really been paying attention, earlier this year, Sabrina Pearson, who was a friend of T.I. and Tiny, or specifically Tiny's, you know, used her platform, used Instagram to discuss the allegations that were made against Tiny and T.I. Like, there was a whole bunch of women who came out and said that they have been in situations where Tiny and T.I. have manipulated them and coerced them into things that they were not comfortable with. It was given manipulation, maybe sexual assault, all the other things. So it's been a mess. It's been a mess. So much to the point that the show, you know, the Friends and Family, whatever, is not being renewed. It's canceled indefinitely. It's not coming back. The source told me, you know, that they don't plan on bringing it back. And also, T.I. has been, you know, let go from all of the things that he was doing with the Ant-Man on Marvel. Like, you know, he was a character on, you know, Ant-Man, and like, I'm not sure if he was he was in the first Ant-Man, but he wasn't, I'm not sure if he was in the second one, was Ant-Man and the Wasp. I don't think he was in that, but I think T.I. was doing a good job on there. I think T.I. is like a decent actor. He wasn't really being challenged in his acting in that role, but it was pretty good. And now I don't think he's going to be a part of that. I think he's just going to be axed. Disney doesn't play that, and Disney owns Marvel, so you can just, that's it. And VH1 is not trying to get into no mess with that. So you know this is affecting their budget. So much to the point that Tiny is out here, been quiet, ain't really said anything, but the moment that Shekinah, you know, kind of challenges her and says something, now Tiny wants to come out and speak. No, girl, speak about these allegations. Speak about these folks calling you out. And what I find funny about this is that y'all about to do, Escape is about to do a versus with SWV, and Tiny posted a video on Instagram, you know, to myself, y'all talking all this stuff while I'm out here working, I'm trying to get to the stuff, and she making all these front faces and stuff, and I'm just like, sis, you need to be responding to these allegations. Like these are some serious things of people calling you and your husband out about some stuff, and I don't think these folks are lying. I don't think they're lying. I think a lot of them are telling the truth. And I don't think these folks are like, what do they have to gain from coming out and saying something about T.I. and Tiny? What they gonna get, the key to the city in Atlanta? What they gonna get? So I believe everything that they're saying. I believe the truth. Yes, we can't confirm that. We can't confirm that what they said is true. But in my spirit, I kind of believe that. I always believe a victim when they come out and they say the truth. I don't believe a victim has a reason to lie. I'm looking at this whole versus battle kind of side-eyeing because There's no way in the hell y'all gonna be able to do this, and Tiny gonna be in there doing whatever and talking or doing whatever, and folks are not gonna be coming and dragging it. They already were dragging it when like Neighborhood Talk posted on Instagram, and the comments were limited because people were going in. And what I also find funny about this is considering that Candy has been in the situation with Phaedra and Portia about her being accused of rape and all that other stuff and drugging folks. Your friend has now been called out on this, like not just one or two people, it's been multiple people calling them out, and then you get on Watch What Happens Live, and then you say that you don't believe the victims, and folks are doing stuff for clout almost essentially, like I'm paraphrasing what she's saying, and it's just like, it's hard for me to take Candy serious because Candy was coming out and she said she takes it very serious about that, and I believe Candy when she says that. I can only imagine the stuff that Candy has seen while she was touring and doing stuff. I can only imagine. But now for folks to be calling your friend out and then you come out here defending her, you're essentially doing the same shit that Shekinah was doing. Now let's talk about Shekinah, because Shekinah been popping off on Bigo Live, which is an app that be doing a whole bunch of stuff. I don't know, girl, it's giving way too much, girl. I don't see how y'all be on there. It be shit floating around and it's like I don't know, the girls be on there for $2 a month, so that's not my ministry. But girl, get your bag, sis, get your bag. But watching it, Shekinah is kind of giving us a little bit in depth of her, interesting relationship with Tiny. She essentially is saying that Tiny has been using her since day one. She claimed that T.I. has never been a friend of hers, never really cared about her, and kind of like mentioned her a little bit in a song or something. Well, there was a song that he said monster rat or something, like a rat porch or something, a porch rat or something, and then he was allegedly called Shekinah that. Now, Shekinah is claiming that T.I. was never here for, he didn't like their relationship, but Shekinah said she always respected their relationship. She always told, Tiny to, hold it down, to not do any of these things. And I believe Shekinah. I believe Shekinah is, I feel like that she is genuine. I feel like she's a genuine spirit a little bit, but what gets me about Shekinah, you come out saying all these things and how you were manipulated, all these things, and ultimately the blame goes on Tiny as well as T.I. But when you came out and you defended, because Shekinah is saying she came out and she defended her friend, and she said that Tiny was right in that room when she was going off, when she was saying that Sabrina was out here recruiting these folks right with Tiny and T.I., and that she had smashed both of them or whatever. And she said, like, Shekinah is claiming that Tiny was in the room when she was saying that, and then she also claims that Tiny was telling her to say all of these things. She was telling her what to say or whatever. Now, Tiny has clapped back and called her a ditzy bitch, all of these things, and just said, girl, that girl lying. I ain't got nothing to do with that. I'm just glad this relationship, this friendship is over, because she gets emotional. She be talking too much. I'm talking about our relationship. She's always on live talking these things. I'm just so glad, da 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 da. And I'm like, Shekinah, that's where you messed up at. Your friend was being called out for these things, and then you come out and you defend it. And then you kind of slipped up in your defense. You talking about it. You kind of made it seem like the rumors and stuff were true. You're accusing and saying that it was true because Sabrina was doing it as well. So it's just like you were trying to drag Sabrina and saying, Sabrina, you out here calling them out, but you was doing it too. So what you're saying that Sabrina was doing it with T.I. and Tiny, you're kind of confirming that this whole situation, this whole thing is true. So baby girl, like you kind of vindicated your friend, like you kind of supported that. And I think that's why Tiny is mad. Like you made the situation worse. You made the situation worse for them because it's just like you tried to come back and you tried to clean it up, and like you did other videos saying, well, I heard this from Willie, I heard this from there, I don't know nothing about that, but you interjected yourself. You did two things wrong, sister. You did one thing was you discredited victims that were coming out and talking about Tiny and T.I. Then secondly, you interjected yourself in there to defend rape. Like what is going on? Like, girl, you discredited them and then you're defending them. I'm just like, girl, what is going on? Like, you put yourself on the line. Now Shekinah's problem, like what she's saying is, she was getting ate up after this, as she should have been, because I know I did a whole Dear Shekinah video on Patreon about it, because I was just so pissed off. And she said the world was eating her up. Now, girl, the world ate you up when you was dragging last year and was talking about the Gucci store ain't did nothing to y'all. But girl, the girls that eat you up that much. Like Shekinah, you do be popping off, you be talking, and I feel like you honestly need a PR person to tell you how to use your storytelling to the best of your ability, because girl, the way you be talking sometimes, you be embarrassing yourself and me. You be embarrassing me too, girl, and I don't even know you like that. So Shekinah is saying that she was getting ate up, and Tiny did not come out to defend her or anything, and she just felt like she was, you know, she was like out like bait, like everybody was eating her up. And she said her friend. So she started to name in this big old video that she was doing things with the network. I'm guessing she's talking about VH1. She was a makeup artist, I'm guessing, or doing hair or whatever she was doing, and she was making $150 a day. And she said that Tiny and T.I. knew about that, and they never did anything too much about it. They was okay with it. She said she finally got her license and she was able to make more money. She said she was doing Tiny's hair for free. So essentially, she was getting exploited by T.I. and Tiny as well. Well, essentially Tiny. You out here doing homegirl makeup. You out here doing all this, doing her not makeup. I don't know what she kind of do. She kind of does her hair. Okay, she said she's doing her hair, so she didn't have a license to do hair, but she out here selling her. Girl, they probably doing whatever. Get your bag, sis. Get your bag. So she's naming all these things that she has experienced in the friendship, and she said God had to tell her and show her what was wrong. I'm like, girl, if God had to put you through all of that. And watching you, like, I got some questions for your God, girl. That's a lot going on. Like, you saying that God told you and showed you why can God just maneuver this person out of your life? Move it right out of my life. Move it. Why he just didn't do that? I'm really confused with that. So now, Shekinah and Tiny are not friends, and homegirl been like popping off, and Tiny finally responded. I'm gonna read some of the stuff that she said. Now this was Tiny's response. Y'all can believe this ditzy. If you like, why in the F would I ask her to say what she said? True enough, she wanted to speak up for me as a friend. I appreciate that, but I never ever told her to say any of that. She said, that's on my life and everything. She wrote me a book and said people don't know how to know. She wrote me a book and said people don't need to know, but yet going on live, talking about me daily. The worst kind of friend to have. So my thing with Tiny is, no, the worst thing you need to be worried about is the fact that you and your man was out here allegedly manipulating these women to be in the bedroom with y'all. That's the thing. Like, girl, that's the worst of your problem. You out here trying to name it, she going live and all this other stuff, like talking about it. Like, girl, yeah, like that's your friend. She's been like that. She's been doing that. And then now you should have told her the moment she went live and said that stuff, when she told her, Willie told her, you should have cut that right then and there. But it was all good for you until it started to backfire. Now you like, oh, this was the worst thing. She going live. She was only going live after that to defend herself, because now she had been in some shit. Like, let me tell you something. If any of my friends come out and some shit like that happen, I ain't going live doing the damn thing to defend them. I'm gonna let everything air out. I'm gonna have a conversation with you privately. I'm not gonna be going on Instagram Live and Twitter defending them like that. I am just not getting involved in stuff like that. Like, sis, that's a mess. But Tiny didn't have no problem with it until it started to backfire. So I don't know what to say about this whole ordeal. The situation is very serious. These are some very serious allegations. Very serious, and I believe them. And I think that Tiny needs to be worried about that. And she also needs to prepare her wig for it to be smashed when she go on this verses, because they are going to be dragging the dog crap out of you. They are going to be eating you alive. The verses, I would not be surprised if like half of the verses is the conversation about, you and T.I. and y'all allegations and stuff, because you can maybe limit the comments on Instagram and stuff, but baby, Twitter is a whole nother story. So we talking about engagement and trending stuff. All it takes is a couple of funny jokes and a couple of folks dragging and talking about what happened. Girl, baby. So yeah, I will be watching the verses for the SWV and Escape versus. I definitely will be watching that and giving y'all my thoughts about that. But girl, tell me what y'all thought about this whole ordeal, this whole thing. Who do you think is in wrong? Or you think really both of them are in wrong? I don't think Shekinah told any lies, honestly. But I don't think it was smart for Shekinah to go live to talk about it from the beginning when she was defending. I'm not coming and defending my friend for nothing like that. Not for no allegations like that. No, man. But tell me what you think about it in the comments, and I'll talk to y'all later on tonight. Bye.
you.